What is up, folks? This is Aircast, and welcome back to Infinity Minecraft Expert Mode. Alright, so we've been working toward getting, we still got some chunks loading in here. We've been working towards getting some MFR ore processing. And we've made some progress, but it's going to be, I wouldn't say a long road, but it's not going to be a short road either. Can't just make them. Oh, a little bit of drop there. You can't just go in and make them kind of like I'd planned, but we're going to need rocket fuel, which is going to need a lot of other stuff. Alright, so you might see something on my bar that is a little different. This is from Bibliocraft. So what it is a clipboard. And we can write on here whatever we want to be able to take care and organize exactly what we need. So I'll go ahead and write up here. Actually, I think first we're just going to put down, so MFR. For some reason, writing is actually harder to do while you're talking and recording. I don't, whatever. Because my mind's going blank completely. So MFR or processing. Okay. And that's going to be our overall goal. I'm going to go ahead and skip a line just to set that apart. The first thing we're going to need to do is forestry. Potatoes? Potos? Potatoes. Alright. I think I might have misspelled that. Whatever. So, what we're going to do is, let's go ahead and do plastic. And just take a look at all what we're going to need. Okay, so we're going to need raw plastic, which comes from things that are made of plastic. You can get it from rubber, which is probably a pretty good source. Obviously, yeah, rubber bars. So we're going to be getting it from rubber. Let's go ahead and hit backspace. Is there anything else I need to take a look at? Alloy smelter. Okay, these are just different forms of smelting. Okay, so we're going to need rubber. So let's go ahead and do a rubber farm. Actually, I'll take out forestry. Are you dropping frames on me again? No? You're just being weird. Okay. Well, I can somewhat deal with being weird, but potato farm. And that's gonna annoy me. So, farm. Okay, so we're gonna need rubber. We're gonna need potatoes. What else are we gonna need? So we can click there. Oh, actually, we're going to need compressed sawdust. So how do you get that? You can do it in a pulverizer. Okay. I think the sawmill is probably, did I just really give that a strong? Hey, my accent comes out every once in a while. Having lived in Montana for so long, it's mostly disappeared, but definitely not always the case. Running things through the sawmill, I think, is the best choice we've got here, because it gives us 6 planks instead of 2. I know it's usually 4, but in expert mode, as we saw last time, it's 2, or time before last, I'm not sure. So we need to make a sawmill, but we can use a pulverizer if we need to. So let's type in here sawmill. Okay. What else? We're going to need rocket fuel. So rocket fuel, we've got fluid transposers, that's not a problem. But we're going to need a vat. We're going to need a gunpowder farm, which I've got an idea for this. I don't have creepers yet. But until that time, there's a way that I can get creepers to spawn. So I'll just type in here rocket fuel, because that's going to be its own whole deal. We're going to need a vat. We're going to need hooch, which is what the potatoes are for. We're going to need all kinds of things. So let's go ahead and do forestry. And I think it's on the second page. Nope, third? Yes, okay, it's up here. So we're going to need to make some farm blocks, farm gearbox, hatches, valves, farm control. This is an interesting multi-block structure, and it's going to take a lot of items, but thankfully these aren't super high-tech. A little bit high-tech, not super high-tech. So we're going to need a thermionic fabricator. So is that on this screen? I was hoping it was, but it doesn't look like it. The first one? That's all bee stuff. So yeah, bees. That's forestry. Beealizer. Butterflies. I'm not seeing... Oh, no, it's an analyzer. Alright, you know what? Let's just type it in. Okay, there we go. Forestry for Minecraft. Alright, so we've got some golden chests. I've had a bunch in my inventory for a while now. We need a sturdy casing, which is what we made the bronze gears for. So let's go ahead and do this. Take our sturdy casing. I've got 2 stacks of bronze gears, so just under 2 now. And from there, we should be able to make, ta-da, thermionic fabricator. Now, do we want to put this... Let's put this in the other room. It's just going to be temporary position wherever I put it. But we can stick it up there. So it's going to charge up here, just like any machine would. Let's go ahead and grab some glass. 64 is plenty. Now, we're going to need to make a few things in here. Sorry, I had something on my keyboard. Or not keyboard. Mouse pad. Don't ask. Alright. So, we're looking at tubes. Actually, and I'll just do... Oh. I'll be right back, folks. I can't always remember how to turn that off. Although it is a pretty cool option, it's really annoying. Alright, folks. So I've tweaked the design that I wanted to go for a little bit between the last segment and this one. I spent a bunch of time in the creative world just ironing out some issues that I, was expecting to see. So we're going to need a few things. Let's go ahead. Actually, we could use conduit. That's not what I was planning on using. I was planning on using flux duct. Now, it's actually an interesting thought there. Okay, so what is more expensive now that we've switched over to expert mode? Let's just take a look at regular... Oh boy. That looks kind of painful. Flux Electrum Blend we've kind of looked at in the past. I guess I could take a look and see. Okay, so it's just Electrum, which is silver and gold, right? Yeah, okay, so that's not bad. I mean, this is, don't get me wrong, this is a lot worse than it was. Whoa, Signalium, really? Okay, and what is Erothium? Blitz powder. And sand and redstone and saltpeter. Really? Wow, these are kind of expensive. Is there another way I can get that? Sand and redstone. Okay. So there is a reliable way of getting that, which is good. Okay, so let's take a look at the other option, which is the conduits. Redstone, it's going to be this one, enhanced. Okay, so that one, again, is kind of expensive just because, oh, well, it looks like we need the flux duct anyway. So, I guess we're going to be using that. Which means we're going to need power in a more centralized area than it is currently. So let's hop down and take a look at what we've got. Problem is, I've got the power over there. You see it right there? Actually, we don't need to hop down there. Now, the things that I'm going to be building are kind of big, the farms. So I was kind of wanting to put them, you know, I could put one like over here to start off with, and I can move it as need be. I think that's a good idea. I'll just leave that where it is. Because I didn't really want to move it, but, you know, I would have moved it if I needed to. Okay, so we'll do that. Now, what else do I need? I need, whoa, okay, that was weird. And drop. Okay, there we go. So the other thing I need is a bunch of fertilizer. Alright, so fertilizer, thankfully, unlike a lot of other things, is easy to make. So this is a magic bees thing. I'm not sure why this is on the first page. This is going to be stuff you're more used to seeing. Alright, so we don't really have a good access to ash. I can get it from peat, but you actually have to produce the peat. And I don't... It's not something that I'm really going to work on at the moment, because there's a much easier way to do it, and that's just 2 sand, as opposed to 8 ash. Yes, you get twice the amount from the ash, but I'm not really hurting for appetite. Let's just take a look here. So I've got 542 blocks plus 511 plus... That's going to give me a lot. Remember, you get a lot more than 1 appetite per ore, so I'm not really worried about it. Alright, so let's go ahead. I'll just do it this way. Oops. Okay, so if we just make a bunch of these, not a big deal. Let's just toss them in there for now. That way they're accessible, and I have them made. Alright, so what else are we going to need? We're going to need these things. Alright, so this is going to be the main part of the structure, or at least the center part of the structure. So we're going to need a bunch of farm blocks, which take nasty electron tubes. They just take 10 though, it looks like. And there are different versions that we can go with here. I'm just going to go with the brick. I'm not really worried too much about aesthetics at the moment. But, alright, so do I have any brick? I've got some brick. So let's go ahead. We're going to need 10 electron tubes, which we've made the thermionic fabricator. We need it to start working though. Oh. So let's go ahead and put the glass in here. Oh, why did it not automatically go in there? Alright, so it's going to melt down the glass into liquid glass, and then we can start making stuff, which is pretty cool. So we need the 10 ones, which is going to be what? It's going to be 5, 10, and 2 redstone. Let's just go ahead and make a bunch of these. So 10 and redstone. Obviously that's not going to make an even number of those, but that's fine. Like that. It has its own inventory here that'll draw from. Like that. And you can go like that and just make what you need. Okay, so obviously I can't make any more. I've got 4 instead of 5, so. And then you can just click the pattern off if you need to, because we're going to need some iron as well. So what are we going to take to make the iron ones? I don't need insulated tubes. I need the electron tubes. Okay, so it's just the same pattern except for iron. We can do that. We've got a decent amount of iron now. We used up a bunch of it, previously making the plates. Alright. And I'll just shift click. Alright, so that's plenty. We didn't need anywhere near that number, but it's fine. Alright. So what else are we going to need? We're going to need a circuit board. And we're going to need the intricate one. So this is going to take a carpenter and a little bit of water. Gold, and of course redstone. Everything takes redstone, right? Alright, so carpenter. Well, what are you going to take to build? So you can see this gets actually kind of complicated, right? You need a ton of stuff to be able to make, well, I was going to say a simple structure, but the oops, sorry guys. Hit the mic boom there. Alright, where is it? Oh, there it is. Carpenter. Alright, so more bronze. That's not going to be a big deal. Because I hope we have enough bronze. Okay, good. I wasn't sure how many bronze ingots I had in there. I've got plenty of gears, but I wasn't sure about the ingots. Alright, so we've got a carpenter. No big deal. Let's go ahead and hook it up here. And we've got our friendly little interface. And the forestry stuff all has its own inventory. So you set the pattern up here and put in inputs and whatever. Actually, I'm going to need to move this, aren't I? Yeah. Hopefully this doesn't break it. I mean, hopefully it does. It should break it, right? But hopefully it doesn't, you know, give me nothing back. I'm going to have to put it back here for the moment. All right, so we've got water access. That's fine. I'll switch that up later. But when I clean stuff up, but let's go ahead and finish this first. We've got the carpenter. We need, let's go back to circuits. Now is this the, alright, this is the intricate one. Good. We've got water. We just need redstone and gold. That's bronze. Okay, yeah, I've got plenty of bronze ingots. Good. I wasn't sure how many I had, and the answer is plenty. So thankfully the intricate circuit board is not that expensive. The difference is going to be this, that there are a different number of slots. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And those slots you're going to see in a minute are very important. And it takes a little bit, but it's not too slow because you don't actually need that many. Are you just going to keep producing? Okay, I'm going to take your resources away then, because I don't want you to constantly be producing. We're not going to need that many circuit boards. We'll need a few, but not that many. Alright, so I need a soldering iron now. Oops. So, not the station. That's part of the logistics pipes. That's creepy. I'm going to need to do this in a carpenter. So, 1 piece of bronze, 3 of iron. 1, 2, 3, and 1. Okay. Not too shabby. 1, 2, 3. I think that's the pattern, right? No? What is it? Oh. Eh. There we go. Soldering iron. And this is going to help us install these electron tubes inside the circuit board, which is super duper duper important. So we're not going to be using electric engine, but you can use several different things here. You can use the tubes for electric engine, and let me go ahead and do this just to show you guys what it does. Alright, so if I put this board with this setup into an electric engine, this is what it would do. So it increased the efficiency of the engine. If I put it into a stimulator, this is what it would do. Managed farm is what we're going to be working for. And you can also do manual farm. That's all the options you get with it. Yes, the board is missing. So what we do is we drop the board up here. I've got managed farm, vegetable farms. We're making potatoes. And ta-da! We've got this. All right, so what this does is, as you will see in a little bit, it does it on a northeast southwest style basis. So if we only had one, it would only do it from one of those. We need all four sides, so we're going to be using that. I can put this in my bag. I think that'll be a fine place. We don't need any more tubes. Obviously, I overmade those, but we've got the resources, so we'll use them at some point. It's just not going to be right now. All right, so next step is to go back to the farm blocks. Farm. All right, so we're going to be going with these. We're just going to take some copper. We're going to need some slabs, and we're going to need our 10 electron tubes. All right, so let's head back here. All right. I did get a good amount of wood, so unfortunately we don't have our setup yet to where we can get 6 planks, or 6 planks per wood, but I don't think that's really going to be a big issue at the moment. So let's go ahead and make a bunch of these. We'll use them later if we don't use them all, which we're not. All right, so let's go ahead and shift click this in, and okay, it's going to be grumpy, aren't you? I shouldn't draw that straight in there, but yeah. So we're going to need, for the farm that I'm setting up, we're going to need a 4x4 by 4. So that's what, 16, don't do math while you're recording, 16, it's 46, 64? Oh, okay. Okay, so apparently I didn't make enough of those. Let me go ahead and make those real quick, because we're going to need all we can get. It is 64, right? 4 times 4 times 4? I'll check. I can do math, folks. Alright, so I went ahead and made that up to 64. That's fine. Alright, so farm gearbox is what we're going to need next, and this is what supplies power. Oh boy, you're going to take 10 gears. Do I have 10 gears? Let's see. I do. Awesome. Because I didn't want to make those. We're going to need 2. Are we going to need 2? I guess I can do with... No, I'm going to do 2. Alright, so I could get away with 1, but I'm not going to. So we need a trap door for this. I doubt I have a trap door in there. Yeah, I don't. So let's go ahead and make... Oh, hey, look at that. It's telling me I need 2. So, 1, 2. We're going to need 2 farm hatches. And this is how you supply it with the soil and the potatoes and fertilizer and all that sort of thing. Okay, so what else are we going to need? We're going to need a valve, and this is for water, as you can imagine. That makes sense, right? So we're going to need 1 valve. All right, now what else are we going to need? What is that? Steve's carts? I haven't really messed around with Steve's carts much. I've watched a little bit on it, but Ender Farm. Maybe it does. It farms those Ender Pearls through the seeds. That'd be kind of cool. Actually, that'd be great. I'll have to look into that. Alright, so let's see what else we need. Alright, so we're going to use a little bit of applied energetics. It's in that time of year I'm starting to get a little stuffy. Alright, so what are we going to need for this? Well, since you asked, now do I have any specific components that I've already got made? No, it doesn't look like it. 4K should be plenty. We've got what we need, yeah. Now, applied energetics actually hasn't changed much, if at all. If at all is what I've seen, but there could be something in here because there's so many different components. That says that, you know, it has changed. But Applied Energistics was already kind of expensive in the first place. I'm thinking that's their line of reasoning there. Do I have any casings? Is that what they're called even? Let's take a look. Where is it? I'm just looking for the empty one. I'm not seeing it. I guess we could just do this and just not worry about it. Alright. So what else are we going to need? And the reason I'm doing this, I'm going to make its own little system down there because I don't have nearly enough cable to run from my existing system all the way down there. And we don't have what we need for the interdimensional whatever. That you can do it. It can travel across great distances. And we are going to use that eventually, but not yet. Alright. So, did I really just get rid of that? I don't know why I did that. Alright, so we're also going to need an ME chest. Now, these I use very, very rarely because they just require small systems. So, oh dear. What are you? Quantum core? Oh my gosh. Holy cow. Alrighty folks, so we had a crash there. Let's just say I'm going to be happy when they update the pack. Because at this point it is really unstable, which is kind of frustrating. So we're out of lava. I'm going to have to go down there and move those things, because, yeah. Now, I'm not worried about power at the moment, though. We've got about 2.5 billion RF at the moment. So we're looking pretty good. Alright. Now, let's get back to what we were doing, eh? Alright, so we've got the farm hatch, we've got the valve, we've got our gearbox. I was working on Applied Energistics. So we're going to make a miniature system down there. It's really only going to store 3 things. It's going to store our potatoes, soil, and appetite. So I'm not worried about having more than one drive. So we were saying exactly how expensive the... Where is it? Where are you, ME chest? Yeah, these things are. Because these energy acceptors are super expensive. Holy cow. Taking a quantum core, it takes an Enderium block and a vibrant alloy block. What? Enhanced Galgadorian metal. What the heck is that? I don't even know what you are. What are you? Well, that answered no questions at all. Wow. Okay, so that's possible. This, not so much. Enriched Cenarium? Really? That's ridiculous. I don't have that much iridium. Alright. So we're not going to go with that direction. Now, is it equally expensive to make an ME drive? No. I don't understand this. I really don't. So why would you even make an ME chest? I think that's actually a mistake. A mistake in what they're thinking, right? So, ME chests are already underused because there's not really a lot of reason to use them. They only store one drive, so why would you use it except for in a very small system in place of just a drive? Alright, so for your larger systems, you're obviously going to use a drive, but why would you use an ME chest at all when they're so ridiculously expensive? You wouldn't. It makes no sense. Alright, so we'll just use a drive. We're only going to store one in there. Okay. Alright, so let's take a look at what else we're going to need. Why is that there? Oh, applied when harvesting. Then I'll just do that. Applied in. Alright, so what else are we going to need? We're going to need some cables, of course. I've got 4. Let's go ahead and just make some smart cables. Actually, there's no reason to have smart cables. I'll just make a bunch of normal cables. So let's just say 64. Next. Start. Alright, so that'll take just a second. It won't take that long. Yeah, as you can see, it's already going up. Alright, so what else are we going to need? We've got the storage. We're going to need an import and an export bus. I'll just toss these in here, because we're not going to need 64, so we definitely don't need another partial stack in there taking up inventory space. So import, I will need these. Let's go ahead and make an import bus. Thank you. We're going to need an export bus. Next, start. Okay. We're going to need not a crafting card. We're going to need what? Okay, I don't have one of those set up. Oh, capacity. Nope, not that set up either. Alright. So we'll just make some of these apparently. Wow, these take calculation processors now. I'll just make a couple of those. Okay. As you're saying, we need a lot of different materials, and we're not done yet. So obviously, it's going to be next episode before we set this thing up. But we will at least have everything we need, or should have everything we need. Cross your fingers on that one. But hopefully I can catch everything. Alright, so we're going to need 2 buckets. And these are going to be both filled with water. 1, 2. We're going to need, we've got some stone. Let's go ahead and finish our stack off. Okay. Let's see, what else do we need? I could do this one of 2 ways. How expensive, I wonder, are these guys going to be? Not that bad. Let's go ahead and just make one of those. It's actually not the most efficient way, but it's probably the easiest way to get water. Oh. Right. Do we have any machine frames? No. Do we have any aqueous accumulators? No. Okay, then. Well, let's take a look at the other option. The other option is through a mod that I can't remember the name of. Crap. Let's do this. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. Let's do transfer node, extra utilities, obviously. Okay, thankfully this is not expensive. I'm just going to do this version, because even though I don't need them now, as I keep saying, I'll use them later. Alright, so extra util. Okay, let's take a look at the... Alright, this is what we're looking for here. Do I have any transfer pipes just made? Okay, no. But I can craft some. Start. Okay, that'll be plenty. Now, what else do I need? I need a world interaction upgrade. This is going to be probably kind of expensive, I imagine. Might not be. Who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky. Alright, so where are the upgrades? Alright, here's the upgrades. We're going to need some speed upgrades, but this is the one that we're wanting to do. Diamond pick, but we can handle that. I'm not worried about that. Diamonds I have a decent number of. And these guys, that's not going to be too bad. That should be fine. Okay, let's go ahead and make you. And is that everything? I think it's everything. It's a lot of stuff. But I think we'll find it's actually a pretty good setup. Gosh, we've spent this whole episode just preparing to make the thing. Well, I guess that's going to be it for today, because we've kind of run out of time, because the setup is going to take us a little bit as well. It's not going to take us as long as it's taken us to get the thing together, but, well, that's where we are. Alright, so, oh, another frame drop. Like I said, unstable, this version, which is kind of unfortunate. I think I'm using, was it 2.1.3? Which is the latest update at this point. But hopefully they'll have another one out soon, because at the moment, it ain't looking good. Actually, that brings up another idea. Alright, so hope you guys enjoyed. And next episode, we will actually construct the thing, which is only one part of a much larger system. So, you having fun? I am. Alright, so until next time, hope you have a wonderful day.